Recently, we started a series of some 10 bookish men who have inspired a 10 years journey. I'll explain that later. And today, the man I want to introduce to you analyzes politics so fantastically. Yes, a word such as fantastically. Anyway, wherever, anyway. And I have learned quite a lot from him. But of course, before you do that, there's something that we say all the time when we are starting this. Eccomi Signore, vengo per la tua volontà. Here I am, Lord, I come to do your will. That's a prayer, TPOOPA prayer. Because we believe that everything that we do it for the greater glory of God. And it is not by our own might, our own energy, our own intellect that we are able to do that which you see us doing. It is only by the grace of God. Amen? Now, why are we even talking about a 10 years journey? Because in August of 2025, myself together with my wife, we celebrated, or rather we marked a 10 years journey of staying together as a husband and a wife, as a wife. So I felt privileged. I felt compelled. I felt kind of a push to do a series of videos to see, okay, while we are doing all this, when we are saying all this, maybe there are some people here and there whom you have been able to extract from their lives, from what they say and how they say it, and you have been able to apply it in your context as a husband of 10 years and as a dad to sons and a daughter. When I looked at that, I discovered that most of these men, some of them read books and others do not read. But for the purposes of our case here, I decided to focus on those that read books or talk about books. Because this channel celebrates book reading and people who read books, amen. So I've been talking about a number of men. And today allow me to introduce to you another man called Herman Manyora. He runs a YouTube channel called Herman Manyora. And while I'm not so much into politics, I love listening to him because of the how he does it and the results that we see afterwards. I love following him because of his prophetic nature as far as politics is concerned and the outcomes of his prophecies. And there's something he loves talking all the time, that he is giving free advice to all these politicians, only that they don't listen to him. They love listening to themselves, to the detriment of their own political lives and political careers. So this man, Herman Manyora, first of all, I congratulate him. Wherever you are, congratulations. Because first of all, he nurtures young talents. Because there are 3 young men who runs his YouTube channel and they do it so well. Congratulations for the good work that you do. When time comes later on, we'll be able to recognize your effort and your contribution to humanity at large. Herman Manyora, from where I sit, is such a man who is very truthful. He is not economical with advice. And one of the things I love about him, he's a professor of political science and other stuff in the university. And he always brings the human side of the intellect, the cream de la cream people in our society. And we think that the professors, the doctors, do not experience some of the pettiness, the petty things that the common people struggle with here and there, such as who to elect in a chama, their ethnic background. Well, these things, Herman Manyora admits that they are also there in as far as and in as much as we also fight them in the lowest of the lowest people in our society. Therefore, demystifying the idea that the problem that we have in the world, in the country, is not so much because we don't have the know-how. It's not that because we are not educated. It's not that because we are not informed. We are not sensitized. We have not received enough civic education. But there is something deep within us that forces us, compels us to remove our education mask, to remove our Christianity, to remove our religious convictions, and make decisions based on some impulses that are most likely not logical. He has demystified that it runs from top to bottom. I love him for that. But apart from that, as I said at the beginning of this video, Herman Manyora is a bookish man, and I have followed him very closely. And after some time in his videos, you'll not lack him recommending a certain book or making a reference to a certain book. And one of the books or the characters or the writers or the authors he has been making reference to is none other than William Shakespeare. We know this was a playwright in the 16th, 17th century there, who have written very many comedies, who have written many tragedies, the tragedy of something like Romeo and Juliet, comedies such as The Merchant of Venice, and stuff like that. And Herman Manyora has been making reference to Julius Caesar, one of the plays by William Shakespeare, where he talks that we tend to remember the bad people and their bad things, but the good people and their goodness get interred together with the interment of their bodies, their bones, everything. What we are saying that when people depart from this world, we bury them. We tend to forget most of them, especially those people who had done very good things. But for those people who had done the terrible things, we tend to continue remembering them for the bad reasons. And we know this applies to dictators. We know that for free. And in fact, mentioning about Herman Manyora and his mention of, or his influence, or being influenced by William Shakespeare, I have come also to note that a number of men who are of his age tend to be highly influenced by William Shakespeare. I'm going to name two men. One of them is called Reggio, who happened to be, was he a PA of the late second president of the Republic of Kenya, Daniel Arap Moi? He was either a secretary, a PA, or something very close to Moi. Recently, he mentioned about the same. I don't know whether he mentioned about a line he remembered in Macbeth or Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare, that here cometh. You know, Shakespeare loves that words. Death cometh instead of come. You see, the adding of the th. That was the English then. Another man who I'm also have learned so much from him. He has mentored me through his works, through his books, is Rob White. Rob White has written 2 books. Okay, more than 2 books, but I've read 2. One of the books is called And Then I Met Margaret, and the other book is called The Maestro Monologue. I have read about these books and I have talked extensively about the books. You can check them from TPOOPA Facebook page. You can also go to my X account, my LinkedIn account. I was not able to upload them in the YouTube channel, but in the 3 places, and also TikTok. You might get, if you revisit the videos of 2 years ago, yeah, I've talked extensively about more than 60 videos, each lasting more than 10 minutes. That man, whoa. Another man who has also been inspired by William Shakespeare and others that I have not perhaps been able to mention. So today we are celebrating Herman Manyora. Herman Manyora, thank you so much. It is through you that I have been able to also be able to do this type of videos. Because if Herman Manyora is getting time in his busy schedule to give some free advice in form of YouTube videos, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, just like that, who am I not also to devote some time, little time, and share this? Somebody might be in need of this information. Somebody may have been thinking of ending his life today, but maybe through this video, he or she is going to postpone it. And God willing, he is going to do away with the idea of ending his life or her life and continue living. Yes. This is why we are saying that the bookish man within our community, within our society, they may not necessarily even go deep into the books, but just by the mere mention of a certain book, you are very certain that somebody somewhere is going to take that seriously and read. The other day he mentioned about another book called, written by Michelle Obama, called Becoming. Is that the title? I suppose. When I started this TPOOPA, TPOOPA was born out of another series, a journey of 12 months that I did with a group of 6 ladies and 6 men. I think there were 6 seats. And we are doing it privately. I was coordinating it. And one of the ladies there led this book and provided a very good review. Maybe it reminds me, but perhaps one day I need also to read it because I have not read it. But Herman Manyora mentioned it the other day. So this means it is a reminder that there's something that I'm supposed to do that I've not been able to do, to read. So anyway, that is that. That is that. I don't know who has inspired. I don't know any bookish man who has inspired you, but this is one of the 10 bookish men. And I rest my case there. In case you'd like to speak to me, I'm always open through the email tpoopaman@gmail.com. Let me spell TPOOPAman at Gmail. TPOOPAMAN @gmail.com. And remember, we do mentorship. Welcome. This is Samuel Waragu Senior, the TPOOPA Man, and do have a nice time.